basement of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello, Lights Out sports fans. I'm your host, Rob Blancardo, here with Armand Matteo. And guys, we just talked to you about baseball's opening day season, the start of the baseball season. Now we're going to talk to you guys about a controversial issue in baseball. You know, Armand, a couple days ago, Kris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs, third baseman, amazing spring, 9 home runs.
Oh, yeah.
Being sent down to the minor leagues, and I just think it's way too obnoxious for the Chicago Cubs to do this to a guy, especially where the team is at this point in the season. Yes, you know what, it's only the start of the season, but where this team could be with him, I feel they really just messed up.
He could definitely bat in the fifth hole right behind Starling, Castro, and Soler and Rizzo, because this guy, I mean, they got a guy named Mike Holt who is replacing him with a career batting average of 156.
And 12 home runs.
And 12 home runs, woo. That's probably over like 3 years.
He went 0 for 4 versus the Cardinals opening day with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to actually start criticizing the Cubs. Very obnoxious just to extend his free agency period, to keep him on the team longer. I mean, yeah, you know what? They want the best benefit for him. Mm-hmm. But look at the team right now, what he could do for them.
Bro, he could turn them from winning. He could make them turn them from winning 70 games to 80 games. I'm being honest with you. That's how big of, I think, an effect he would have on this team, because he's a guy who could easily bat with 20 home runs and 70 runs batted and bat around 280, 270.
I would say even 90 wins with the way Anthony Rizzo is, too, at this point.
Yeah.
They have a superb lineup. Dexter Fowler's a guy who gets on base. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You put Bryant into that. That's one of the best lineups the Cubs have ever had.
Yeah, you can't really base off the first game, though, because they played someone like Wainwright, but their offense will get clicking. I agree with you.
It's a good team, but you look at what their president of operations said. When he was with the Red Sox, he said, I never brought up a guy early. Okay, don't use that mentality going Chicago. This is a team where fans have been waiting years, Armand. It's not like days or a couple years.
They waited a whole century.
A whole century since they've been cursed. And you know what? This is a point where you kind of want to make Chicago like a great ballpark where everybody goes. Don't get me wrong, Wrigley Field, amazing ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to draw the fans in. And by drawing fans in, you have to start looking at these younger guys.
You need some name products. Someone like Soler will make the fan attendance go up. Someone like Rizzo. And you don't think Kris Bryant would do that? Absolutely he would. So he'll get called back up, I would hope. Hopefully they make the right decision.
He is. It's just 12 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have preferred to see him start since opening day.
Oh, yeah.
I think out of everybody who played this spring, he showed why he should be on a roster. Yeah. And it wasn't, the pitching's all that. No, he batted .345. He blasted 9 home runs. You give the kid an opportunity. He's going to be a tremendous ball player. He's going to hit about 30 home runs in the major leagues, put up 100 RBIs.
You know what's bad about the situation, too? As a young player and you're being shipped around back and forth like this, it messes with your head. You're not going to know who your identity is, and you're not going to play to that. Mm-hmm. So you can't do this to a young player because he's going to feel unwelcomed and unwanted. Mm-hmm. So it definitely would speak loudly if he was on that opening day lineup card.
Yeah, I mean,
it really would.
This is the biggest test for him mentally. You leave that.
This is a mental problem now.
Well, now it is, because you know what? You take away the confidence that was in that kid the whole spring.
Yeah.
And now you give him a test.
What was the point of him hitting those 9 home runs?
You're gonna send him down to the minors, where they don't come anywhere close to major league pitchers. Some of these guys that pitch down there, and you know what? He's gonna torch them. He's gonna show you why he still deserves to be that product. But you don't mess with somebody like this,
especially a young kid. Who has a lot of expectations. Yeah, the best prospect in all of baseball.
Oh, most definitely. Well, it comes to me now. Do you think baseball teams should be allowed to do this? No. Are they able to extend this free agency period?
I don't agree with it at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we look at it. You want to keep a guy a certain amount of years. Don't get me wrong, because there's so many guys. You'll look at with the Yankees. If the New York Yankees are offering your player 5 years, $100 million, you're not matching that contract.
No.
And that's why a lot of these teams are doing that, because they don't want to ruin the environment of where their organization is. And I mean, yes, you care about your organization, but guys who are deserving of the money, they deserve it. Guys who should be playing deserve it.
Yeah, Kris Bryant is one of those guys who definitely deserve it. Mm-hmm. There's no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts.
I mean, there's another guy I'll talk to you about now, too. Thomas on Arizona, the Diamondbacks. You know, that big 5-year, $68 million contract. Now, I picked him up, and, you know, he was struggling at third base this spring. Now, let's not get to this point. He gets sent down to the minors. You know, Armand, he's a natural outfielder.
Yeah.
What are you testing him at third base for? Put him in the outfield. He's a guy who's going to put up 25 home runs.
Oh, absolutely.
He's an older guy. We've seen what Cuban baseball players have done the last couple of years. They've changed the game. We had Cespedes. We had Jose Abreu, who out of nowhere just put up 40 home runs, over 100 RBIs, one Rookie of the Year, almost one MVP. Mm-hmm. And a guy like Thomas, he shouldn't be down in the minors either.
Yeah, Tomas definitely has a big upside to him as well. I mean, he could have a Yasiel Puig rookie type year. That's what I'm with even more power. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why you mess around with him, put him at third base when he has a killer arm, great glove, got speed. I don't see what the problem is here. Why? That's just another testament to how bad the Diamondbacks' decision making has been over the last couple of years. They haven't made a good move since Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and I mean, Tony La Russa in charge of that team, president of
you
operations.
Would think that.
Yeah, especially with we look at the organizations he's been a part of, St. Louis and Oakland.
Winning organizations.
St. Louis. I would say he just had Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday, but always seemed to make things work. He had great pitchers.
No, he's one of the best coaches. He's like the Joe Torre of the present.
But this is the time where he has to build these teams, and I really don't know what he's doing out there. Even with the Red Sox. Castillo. Castillo was a huge signing. What is the point of dishing out these $10 million contracts if you're not going to play these guys?
Well, I think what happened was when they put Hanley Ramirez to left field, and then you have all this controversy. You have the guy Mookie Betts, who they love. And then in right field, they have... who's in right field?
I don't even...
No, so why? Who replaced Rusney Castillo?
It might still be Victorino.
It is Victorino. He batted the other day. But Victorino, I mean, the guy, he's on his way out. Rusney Castillo is on his way up. You got to put someone like that. Imagine how much he would have helped that lineup. I mean, the lineup is already good as it is. Mm-hmm. Adding someone like him.
But I read an article the other day. They're like, we don't know how long the time is going to be for him, the timetable he's going to be down the minors. So what did you give him the contract for? You're not going to play the kid? Trade him away.
Give him to the Yankees. They can use him.
We almost got him. That would have been nice.
Yeah. We almost got Tomas, too.
Yeah, Tomas... I hope he puts up huge numbers.
I thought he got underpaid compared to who was the one who got underpaid? Was it Castillo? Who had a bigger contract? One of them there was a big
Tomas has the bigger contract.
Yeah, Tomas Castillo was the one who's kind of, it was like I don't know, I don't want to say it wrong, but I thought it was like a 6-year, $40 million deal. I don't think it was very big. So, but I don't know what's going on with some of these organizations. They're not handling their prospects well.
Even the Dodgers, they're another organization. They keep getting these Cuban prospects, and these guys are spending more time in the minors. And
yeah,
I mean, when are you going to bring them up? When they're 28 years old? I mean, yeah, they'll be in their prime, but you got to bring them up when they're nice, young, and firm right now at this point, because these are players you want to watch now. I mean, Dodgers have a tremendous...
I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you here, I feel like when you're in the minors for too long, it starts to mess with you because, like, as you said before, which is a really good point, you go to the majors, it's a whole nother ball game. I mean, it's pretty easy to make it into the minors. Out of all the professional sports to get drafted to, it's the MLB minors. So you're going to have good talent, but there's also some guys who are subpar baseball players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're guys, you can easily put up 40 and 100. Someone like Kris Bryant, if he used to play in the minors all year, you know what numbers he would put up?
I'd probably put up 50 homers.
Yeah, you really would. So then when you go up to the pros, like, it can really mess with you, and you can sometimes, turn around and bat like 200 and struggle mightily because you're seeing the real deal stuff.
Yeah, but
especially if you're down there for over years, that's all you see. It becomes consistent.
Because then everybody starts marking in at 95, 96.
Yeah.
It's not low 90s.
Like your bat speed's going to be messed up because you're facing guys who are throwing 6 miles more. Now, and that's fast.
Imagine playing, you come up to the minors, you've been down there so years, you come up to the majors, my bad, and you face a guy like Roy Halladay in his prime. And you have to deal with Halladay's off-speed pitches because Halladay could do anything with his pitch. He was able to.
He could even throw hard too. What did he throw, like 94?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hard with that killer off-speed.
These organizations, I'm sorry, when it comes to having players that are off to these hot starts, you bring them up.
You have to.
Brian,
Absolutely.
I think, right away will have contributed.
No, yes.
Right away.
And he proved it, too. I mean, Tomas, you can say what you want. He struggled in spring training. But you know what I see? Most people, I don't really care that much about spring training. I think spring training's a joke, especially in the MLB.
Well, I mean, you know what? You messed with him. You took him out of his natural habitat in the outfield.
Yeah.
And that's how you messed with him.
But it's not even like they have anyone good to replace him.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, it's not like in the Boston situation, you have veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Mookie Betts, you have veterans in Victorino and Ramirez who can put up great numbers. Who's in the Diamondbacks outfield?
Oh,
Mark Trumbo?
I think it's Justin Upton and Chris Young. Oh, wait, they got rid of those guys.
Yeah.
So,
No,
Mark
they
Trumbo,
did.
please don't get me started with Trumbo, because Trumbo fell off the face of the earth. A guy who could hit 25
Hey,
homers.
Trumbo's an Adam Dunn. He's the future. He's going to give you the two. He's another Chris Carter, 220, 40 home runs.
Don't even get me started with him. I mean,
But he's not even a great fielder at all.
No. I mean, he can play first in outfield, but he's
But that's
pretty
Goldschmidt's
decent.
territory. He ain't touching first. But what I'm
Goldschmidt,
saying,
though,
there's no outfield for this team. Why is he not out there?
Well, what do you go with Goldschmidt? What are you gonna do? You don't have batters in the lineup. You know what? My dad would condemn me for this because he loves Paul Goldschmidt.
I know.
Tells me all the
He
time
harasses me every day for it.
how he could do work with any lineup that he has. But this is a really bad Arizona Diamondbacks team.
That's why I don't know where Goldschmidt's going to get the RBIs.
Yeah, I mean, he'll put up home runs.
Oh, yeah.
He just doesn't have.
I don't know about
the
the
ribby
100 RBIs,
support.
though.
Well, it's gonna be a tough year for the Diamondbacks. Tony
Aaron
La
Hill's
Russa-
going to be like Toronto Aaron Hill. You wait and see.
Yeah, okay. That was one great year.
That was a fantastic
And then
year.
Aaron Hill became like Peyton Hillis in the NFL. He slightly just fell off the face of the earth.
After that Madden cover. Too bad Aaron Hill didn't make a 2K Sports, cover, or MLB The Show.
Oh, man. For Arizona, right?
Yeah.
For them. They've had talent over the couple years. Randy Johnson, pitchers like Brandon Webb, Kurt Schilling, and
I hated that World Series.
everything just goes downhill. They're a team that's always been rebuilding.
Luis Gonzalez. He's a bad man, let me tell you.
All right, guys, so we just told you about how it's kind of unfair for baseball players not being brought up right away, especially when they're on their hot starts. We're going to end the show right now. I'm Rob Picardo.
Now I'm Armand Matteo. Have a good day, folks.
And you could turn into Lights Out Sports every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Have a great day, guys.
You're listening to WICR.